Good morning, writers. Let's get started by filling out our writing learning intentions. Make sure to fill out today's date, and today as a writer I am working on using a reporter tone to my writing. So today I want to teach you that part of being a successful journalist is adopting the tone of a reporter. Journalists write in the third person and use dramatic language to convey a series of events. Let's take a look now at tone through two different writings of the same event. The first one is written as a memoir or a narrative. Let's take a look at what that sounds like. It was a cold and icy day on Monday, and the classroom seemed a little empty and cold also, as I opened the door just before homeroom for kids to come in. I was thinking about the movie I had seen last night, Jurassic Park, and how scary the giant reptiles had been in it. We all filed in together and took our seats. Then something surprising happened. Mrs. Coelho opened the door and whispered urgently, "A snake has gotten loose from the science lab. We don't know which one, and I'm afraid it could be dangerous. The custodian last saw it here in your room." My heart seemed to stop. I was afraid of snakes. After last night's movie, I was terrified. Kids heard, and some of them jumped on their desks. Now let's take a look at that same event, but this time as a news report from a journalist's perspective. Students at PS4 were shocked this Monday morning to find that a snake had gotten loose in their classroom. Pandemonium erupted as they tried to find the scaly reptile. "I'm afraid it could be dangerous," a young witness overheard her teacher say, causing almost everyone to leap onto their desks. One brave youngster crept down, claiming that he would capture this menacing creature. Like a young Indiana Jones, this child faced fears that made others weep. Clearly, you notice some differences between the two texts. I want you to take a moment and turn and talk to your partner about the things you noticed that were different between these two accounts of the story. Some things you might have noticed were that in the narrative piece, it was really slower paced and descriptive with inner thinking. All of those things we remind you of with I add in your narrative writing really could be seen in this piece of writing. Another thing you probably noticed in the narrative piece was that it used the word I, and we can really tell the narrator's point of view because it showed what they were thinking and feeling about that. On the other hand, the news report used third person, so there was no I voice in there. It all talked about students or a brave youngster. Never did it say how one specific person was feeling about the whole event. It also seems to tell the story from an outside perspective, and it really just sounds more dramatic and sounds newsy. In that news story, to make it sound more dramatic, we heard words like pandemonium or menacing creature. Whoops. So, boys and girls, remember that as you're writing your news reports, and now that you're working on your news team and working on your beat, you'll want to make sure that you are not writing in a narrative tone, but that you're taking the tone of a news report and using third person, telling the story from an outside perspective, and sounding dramatic and newsy as you write that. Work hard and make it a great day today.